Hey everyone, it's Charles with All About the Drive. Last video we looked at top 10 reasons to get a CDL, and today we're diving into the top 10 reasons not to get a CDL. It's your choice. I got my CDL 20 years ago, and now I am a retired truck driver. Becoming a truck driver is often romanticized. The open road, the freedom, but the reality is a bit more complicated. We're going to take a hard look at the downsides of getting your CDL license. This isn't about discouraging anyone, but giving you a full picture. So, you think driving a truck means freedom, huh? It's not exactly the open road, free as a bird lifestyle you might imagine. Truckers often work incredibly long hours, not your typical 9 to 5. Try 12, 14, even 16-hour days, often at night. Forget weekends, holidays, or a consistent routine. They don't call it over-the-road trucking for nothing. Being a trucker means being away from home for days, weeks, even months. Missing birthdays, anniversaries, school plays, it adds up. And it's not just the big events, it's the everyday moments too. It takes a special kind of person to handle that kind of distance. Okay, let's talk muscles, but not the kind you build at the gym. Trucking is physically demanding. We're talking loading and unloading cargo, sometimes by hand, sometimes with a pallet jack, but always requiring some serious muscle. And then there's the driving itself. Hours of sitting in the same position, navigating traffic, and battling fatigue. So, if you're thinking about becoming a trucker, you better be prepared to put in the work, both physically and mentally. Sure, the open road can be beautiful, but it can also be a real beast. Truckers face some of the most stressful driving conditions imaginable. Think bumper-to-bumper traffic, blinding snowstorms, winding mountain roads, all while trying to stay on schedule and deliver their cargo safely. Let's be honest, not everyone is as courteous or predictable as we should be. And that can make life behind the wheel of a big rig pretty darn stressful. Now, for those of you who cherish your alone time, this might not seem like a downside. But for many, the solitude of trucking can be isolating. Days, even weeks, can go by without a face-to-face conversation with another human being. Sure, there's CB radio and truck stops, but it's not the same as having a real, meaningful connection with someone. We crave connection, and the lack of it can take a toll on even the most introverted among us. Truck stop diners aren't exactly known for their healthy options. The trucking lifestyle, with its long hours and limited access to fresh food, can be tough on your health. Increased risk of obesity, heart disease, diabetes, you name it. And then there's the lack of sleep. Fatigue is a serious issue in the trucking industry. Now, this one's not for the faint of heart. Some trucking jobs involve transporting hazardous materials. We're talking chemicals, fuel, even radioactive waste. And while there are strict regulations in place, accidents can happen. So, if you're considering a career in hazmat trucking, you need to be aware of the risks involved. It's a huge responsibility and not one to be taken lightly. The trucking industry is heavily regulated, and for good reason. Safety is paramount, and there are a lot of rules and regulations in place to ensure that trucks and their cargo get where they need to go without incident. But all those regulations can be a lot to keep track of. One little mistake can result in fines, penalties, even the loss of your CDL. The trucking industry, like any industry, has its ups and downs. When the economy is booming, freight demand is high, and truckers are in high demand. But when the economy takes a hit, so does the trucking industry. Freight rates drop, loads become scarce, and truckers can find themselves struggling to make ends meet. So before you invest in a truck driving career, it's important to understand the financial risks involved. Now, this one's the elephant in the room, the thing nobody wants to talk about. But the reality is, trucking is a dangerous profession. Accidents happen, and when they do, the consequences can be devastating. The sheer size and weight of a fully loaded tractor trailer mean that even a minor fender bender can turn deadly. So, if you're considering a career in trucking, you need to be prepared for the inherent risks involved. So, there you have it, the not-so-glamorous side of trucking. It's a tough job, both physically and mentally, but it's also essential. Truck drivers keep our economy moving. If you're drawn to the open road, go for it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, subscribe, comment, and be sure to buckle up, stay safe, and keep the shiny side up.